Emma Raducanu achieved one of Britain's greatest sporting victories last night, winning the US Open in a thrilling final to become the country's first female Grand Slam champion in 44 years. The 18-year-old from Kent fell to the ground and put her hands over her face after beating the 19-year-old Canadian 6-4, 6-3, in front of an enthralled Arthur Ashe Stadium in Flushing Meadows. Raducanu, who was sitting her levels earlier this year, became the first Brit to win a major since Virginia Wade at Wimbledon in 1977 and is the first qualifier to triumph in a Grand Slam, in either the men's or women's game. Life will never be the same again for the teenager as she claims a £1.8 million check, more than her entire career winnings to date, and soars up the rankings from 150 to 23. "I'm still just so shocked, still in the moment," Raducanu said afterwards. "I can't believe I came through that last service game. It honestly means absolutely everything to hold this trophy. I just don't want to let go." Millions back home were watching, including the Queen, who sent a letter from Balmoral, writing, "It is a remarkable achievement at such a young age, and is testament to your hard work and dedication." She was joined by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, who hailed her stunning performances and historic Grand Slam victory. Boris Johnson said, "We are all hugely proud of you," as he praised Raducanu's extraordinary skill, poise and guts. Tennis pundits heralded the victory as not simply an historic triumph for a British player, but as a landmark victory for the sport. "It's a miracle," said former Wimbledon champion Chris Evert. "This is a kid no one had ever heard of until a couple of weeks ago. Now Shush is the biggest name in sport. Shush has stolen all our hearts." After her victory, Raducanu planted a kiss on the silver trophy and beamed at the adoring 24,000 fans inside the Arthur Ashe. The Briton said, "Thank you to everyone here in New York for making me feel so at home from my first qualifying match all the way through to the finals. Layla's always going to play great tennis and always going to fight. I knew I had to dig deep. I think it shows that the future of women's tennis, and just the depth of the game right now, is so great. I think every single player in the women's draw definitely has a shot of winning at any tournament. I hope that the next generation can follow in the steps of some of the greatest legends," she added, naming Billie Jean King, who presented her with the trophy. The first set was a nail-biter, with the games toing and froing from deuce to advantage and back to deuce again as the teenagers played fearless high-speed rallies from the baseline. But in the second set, Fernandez' wayward serving let her down and Raducanu was able to turn the screw as she was handed freebies from the double faults. The final game was fraught with controversy as Raducanu took time out for treatment after grazing her knee with the score poised at 30-40. Fernandez furiously remonstrated with the umpire, complaining that the Briton was slowing the game down while she was on a roll. Raducanu was unfazed as she returned to the court with a patch over her knee and the game continued to yet another deuce before the Brit lashed down a ferocious ace on her third match point. Britain's Billie Jean King Cup captain Anne Keothavong described Raducanu's victory as one of the greatest sporting achievements ever. "It still feels so surreal. That was just an incredible performance from Emma, and from Layla," she said. "A really high-quality tennis match from two teenagers, but honestly I never thought I would see a British female lift a Grand Slam trophy in my lifetime. I can't put it into words how huge this is. This is perhaps one of the greatest sporting achievements ever. I am so happy for her and the way she has done it, to not drop a set in the whole tournament. It is not normal and is unheard of. Raducanu reached the fourth round at Wimbledon in only her second WTA tournament but stepped up her level in New York. Kyothevong added, "She has shown us all she is made for the big stage. It is just an unbelievable achievement and her life will be very different from now onwards. She has the ability to be right up there at the top of the women's game and dominate. Really, the future is looking more than bright." Back in Beckenham at Raducanu's old tennis club, the atmosphere was electric throughout as a crowd gathered for a live screening of the match. Those watching were optimistic, with cheers and applause erupting every time Raducanu won a point, and even louder when she took the lead. Harry Bushnell, who coached Raducanu from the age of 6 to 10, said, "I think it's a testament to her because Shush is such a pleasant person, on and off the court, and I think that's why so many people are getting behind her and certainly here at the club. Park Langley Club will always be behind her every step of the way." Raducanu, 18, is the first qualifier to reach a Slam final and is bidding to become the first British woman to win one of the sport's biggest trophies since Virginia Wade in 1977. Suzanne Williams, her former strength and conditioning coach, said, "It's absolutely incredible just to see her develop and become this player when I knew her when she was so young, from 8 to 12 years old. Of course you could see there was some incredible potential there, but to see her on the screen in this environment is incredible." She added, "The sky is the limit. Shush has still not reached her full potential. She didn't play for months because of her A-levels, so Shush has got so much left in the tank." Speaking just before walking on court, Raducanu said, "The time has flown here in New York. I've just been taking it one match at a time and it has got me to the final. I'm going to go out there and enjoy it today. It's so exciting in my second Grand Slam to be in the final. I can't really believe it, but I can't wait to get stuck in. I'm sure the crowd will be great, so it will be a really positive experience." Those at the club in Beckenham hailed Raducanu as an inspiration to the younger players and beyond. Ms. Williams said, "For girls to know that it is in their reach because they're at the same place she was, it doesn't feel too far removed from them. It's just incredible for them to get this role model." Speaking about other children playing at the club, she said, "They are just pushing themselves a lot harder and want to do a lot more. They are trying to do a few more things at the gym. It's really exciting." Not since Ms. Wade lifted her most famous title at Wimbledon in 1977 has a British woman reaches these heights. That the player to achieve the feat is an 18-year-old taking her first real steps in the professional game makes this one of the most extraordinary stories in all sport. Ms. Wade, who was in New York to watch the match tonight, called Raducanu the real thing. She told ITV This Week, "I can't tell you how exciting it is. We've been waiting such a long time for a British player on the women's side to really come through. Every time you watch her you think Shush is going to win every point out there. You don't even get that nervous. It was remarkable. I'm sure she is the real thing. You don't get someone head and shoulders above that often, and I think Shush is one of those. Shush is stopping all her opponents in their tracks and Shush has got an incredible future ahead of her. If it doesn't happen on Saturday, win a Grand Slam, it's going to happen sooner or later because she is really good." Fernandez is just 2 months older than Raducanu and the pair have known each other since they competed at under 12 level. "We first encountered each other because I was born in Toronto and she was Canadian, so we kind of made a little relationship back then," said Raducanu, who won their only previous meeting in the girls' singles at Wimbledon 3 years ago. Obviously since then we've both come very far in our games and as people, I'm sure it's going to be extremely different to when we last encountered each other. But we're both playing good tennis so it will be a good match. The pair share an immigrant background. Raducanu, who moved to the UK when she was 2, has a Romanian father and Chinese mother while Fernandez has Ecuadorian, Peruvian and Filipino heritage. The Canadian is coached by her father Jorge, who believes the final is a significant moment for the women's game. The former footballer said before the match, "I see they're both bringing a type of game that is not common right now on the circuit. I see that they bring a flair that is very unique for them. I'm glad that they're touching the Asian community. I think that's a huge opportunity in the women's game. I think it's just positive for the game. Obviously I want Layla to win, that goes without saying, but I just think that the matchup and what we're seeing, those two ladies are touching a lot of young girls. I'm getting messages about, please pass this to Layla, little girls saying, you're making us believe.